Okay, greetings, salutations, internet fans of podcasts. My name is Lee. Welcome to another episode, a very special episode here in Cocktails and Curveballs. We're approaching a year, but this one we're recording today is very special, Easter Sunday. So I hope everybody that sees this is out there with their family and they're just having a really nice time with that. Not to get into religion or politics because we don't really do that, but if you do celebrate this holiday, please remember the reason for the season. Okay. Also, on that note, I would like to throw a shout out to all of our men and women in uniform serving in our military, past, present, foreign, domestic, and also to our first responders that are there in a pinch when we need them. Without you guys, I mean, the world as we know it is kind of shitty right now, but without you guys, we wouldn't even be able to do what we're doing. So thank you guys, all of you, for that. So anyway, guys, we got some big stuff going down. We got a lot of things happening. We got a couple games today to round out the Final Four on the men's side. The women's side is really hot too for basketball. So
who's got a rematch for?
Yeah,
got a rematch for Iowa and LSU. I think that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and that's in the round of 8, right? Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese going at it again.
Have you guys seen all the stuff about Malarkey? What's her name? The LSU coach? It's not Malarkey, is it?
No, it's not.
Kim
McCulkey? Is it McCulkey
or
something?
Mulkey, isn't it?
Mulkey.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there was some Washington Post thing that came out that she refused to interview for. That is not putting good light on it. She's talking about already making her lawyers go after him and shit. So
I think she filed a defamation suit. If I'm not mistaken.
But wait a minute, didn't one of the LA papers beat Washington Post to it?
Oh, that wouldn't shock me even a little bit.
I think, guys, I was just reading this morning that she was so concentrated on the Washington Post and suing them and all this for this article that was coming out, which good luck with that, by the way, given the First Amendment and all.
Right.
But and then I just read this morning, I thought that an LA paper actually beat the Washington Post to it, and some shit about former players and
her emails got leaked and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, another email scandal? Great.
Wow.
Call John Gruden.
Get another one. Yeah.
Well, what I read though is there were some ex-players that were homosexual that said that she didn't treat them very well, and that got in the story. And Griner got in the story when she coached Brittany Griner, who came out to be gay later. I don't want to get into all that, but yeah, you know what? Play it out. I mean, once you're a celebrity, you're a target, man. You got a target on your back because if someone feels like they can make a buck off you,
wait a minute. And to be fair to everybody else, all right, Kim Mulkey, great coach, very highly respected and cool, but she's putting that target on her back, guys. When she was at Baylor, she was very reserved, a lot more conservative and stuff. Now she's coming out with the whatever the fuck she wears today, or she wore the other day. She's kind of putting herself out there, and I'm not saying that a woman can't wear whatever the hell they want to wear, but if you don't want this negative press, the best thing to do is not have any press at all, because
or just tone it down, right?
Right.
Just tone it down, and let's not. Can we take a minute to acknowledge the fact that last year in the championship against Iowa, so it's in the rule books. Fact check me on this. If a coach walks onto the floor, that's a technical. That's a technical foul. Several times, Kim walked onto the floor, arguing calls, getting in referee's face, and not one time did they tee her up. So whether for as many fans that are going to sit there and say, well, she's a passionate coach or blah, 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 there's just as many fans saying that's horseshit. Why wasn't she given a tee? So again, I mean, all that stuff, your actions, the way you dress, if you don't want all the negative pub, then
if you don't want the attention,
then chill out, man. You got to tone it way down. But she's in everybody's faces. She's a loud personality. Like you said, Jim, she wasn't at Baylor, but she is now. Fine. I don't care. Do you do you? But the point is, if you're going to be a loud personality like that, don't come crying, man, when everybody starts caving in on you. You know,
have you guys seen the Caitlin Clark and the offer she got from Ice Cube and to come play in the Big Three?
Yeah. She's
$5 million.
I love to watch her play, man.
Isn't that crazy,
dude? If that happens, which WNBA players make like not great money. We've talked about that before. No. I mean, they make good money compared to everybody in the world, but like, it's not that much. I think it's like, I think the top end is like $200,000 a year.
They get
for a WNBA player, and she got offered $5 million to go play in the Big Three. Dude, does that that would change women's basketball forever?
Well, I think Clark and Angel Reese are changing women's basketball right now. We're watching it happen.
Well, they're selling
out.
They're kind of talking about a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson spin. I mean, it's going to be, and I'm not trying to play the whole race thing. This is what was in the paper.
Dude, I brought that up last time when you all threw the racing at me. I was Tyler, so no.
But really, that's, on that kind of level, right? It's like that kind of level is what they're bringing to women's basketball. It's that big. And so they're just going to continue to compete against each other when they get in the next level. They are.
But how crazy is it that we get to see last year's championship in the Elite Eight right now? I'm actually stoked for it, guys. It's going to be fantastic. It's been great for women's basketball. People the stands are full.
Can we talk about Connecticut in a 30-0 run? Is there another team right now that you can honestly say is in the same level, same plateau as a Connecticut? Good Lord.
Well, you just said right now, and that's exactly right. Connecticut right now looks so superior to everybody else. But this fucking tournament, man, anything can happen on any given day. I don't know. You want to just say, man, this is Connecticut and everyone else, but
kind of.
This is March Madness, and they've still got a couple to go.
Hey, really quick, I want to share what I'm drinking today. I know everybody is stoked to find out, but I've got a couple of you said chick drink, and I take offense to that, Lee. I've got a couple strawberry White Claws in my chilled mason jar right here, and
White
Claw. White Claw. It's it's an easy Easter beverage, and I've got here on Cocktails and Curveballs, we don't use shot glasses, we feel with our heart, and I've got a little bit of Screwball peanut butter whiskey. And I'm just going to dump a little bit in there because what I'm aiming for is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a glass. So let's maybe give this a stir. That's amazing. No. That's good stuff.
Fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of Strawberry White Claw.
Strawberry White Claw and peanut butter whiskey, man. That's a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Did we not do one of these episodes about what would you not be caught drinking?
And here, dude,
I think he's trying to up. It seems like he's trying to up himself every week now to
I'm telling you,
a little more sugar in his tank.
I'm telling you, the real crime is that you guys don't have one of these in front of you. That's the real crime because this is amazing.
Wait, question. I have a question. Just asking for a friend here, Patrick. Did Amy tell you that you need to become more in touch with your feminine side, and this is where you're going with this?
That's there's no need. That's a little over the top and absolutely unnecessary.
Is it the first time you've ever tried that? Just right now?
Yeah, it's good.
What if that would have tasted like dog shit?
I would have lied,
brother.
I would have lied and said it was great and choked it down.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, I'm going to say this with my big boy voice. The mountains are fucking blue, boys.
Hey, man.
But you're ripping the hat.
It is.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm drinking.
It is some good, I tell you, easy drinking and on Easter Sunday, I can't think of anything else I'd rather be drinking, to be honest with you. So
well, yeah, but you might have to go get a Brazilian wax after this episode, brother. But hey, I mean,
if he didn't get one before,
let's keep the gloves up a little. Let's keep the gloves
up. Okay. So I'm the only one. I'll tell you guys what I'm drinking. If you can see that, that is it's called Bent Nail. It's out of Red Lodge Ales. It's just their IPA. It's really awesome, 6.3. And then I'll go to the mountains are blue like Jimmy. But Pat, you never cease to amaze me, buddy. I'm fairly impressed with your prowess now.
Anybody
I need you to show up in the gold romper on one of these episodes. Just please.
It wasn't. Can we just be clear? It wasn't a romper. It was a jumpsuit. A huge difference. Huge difference. And nobody's bringing up the fucking banana suit that you were going to wear or the assless chaps that Jim was going to wear. So I feel like you gave.
It would be brought up. It would be brought up. It would be brought up if we had a couple fucking White Claws in front of us, guaranteed.
You damn Skippy, it would.
Well, listen, you know what? For anybody listening out there, if you're just in the mood for a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but you want to add alcohol, here it is, man. Strawberry White Claw with Screwball peanut butter whiskey in a glass. Fabulous.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do that.
If you're in the mood to put on a sundress and go prancing around in high heels, then get you a strawberry White Claw with some whiskey in it.
Some peanut butter whiskey.
That's a little bit of a distortion of the truth. I think that's just. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I whatever you're inclined to do, that is your own business. But strictly just boozing, good shit. Should I lift my pinky when I'm drinking this or no?
I'm pretty sure
you already did.
I'm pretty sure yeah.
Your mason jar. Okay, well, now that we got that out of the way,
back to the man part of the show. How about those Connecticut Huskies?
Oh man, UConn is straight up destroying everybody. I don't see anybody stopping UConn at all in this time.
Not right now. I mean, they're, sometimes
and Jimmy, we talked about it last time. They got a rough run to get there, man. It's been a lot tougher. The team's the talent. Well, and they're still owning everybody.
Like Jim said, right now, and the only thing, and this is this is actually kind of grasping for straws, but the only thing that I could possibly see Connecticut struggling with is just matchups. Sometimes an inferior team just matches up really well with a really good team, and so pending maybe just a bad matchup for Connecticut, I don't know what else can beat them. I mean, you want to go talent for talent. I think it's Connecticut and the rest of whoever's else. But maybe a team gets in there that's really physical. Maybe they got a really a big guy down in the paint. They just can't. It's going to have to be something like that. There's just going to have to struggle with a matchup. But that's the only thing at this point in time that I can see slowing Connecticut down.
I'll tell you that Dan Hurley too. After Jim Calhoun retired, Connecticut had a couple years where they just weren't the Connecticut.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
And along comes Dan Hurley, and damn, guys, he is just. I can't even tell you any of the guys' names on the Connecticut team.
Dude, I don't know that I could tell you one male name in the tournament. I know more names on the women's side right now. I don't watch basketball. I preface that with I don't really watch basketball, but I know more of the girl names than I do the guys in the tournament.
I absolutely I do too.
Well, one thing that Jimmy said, he was talking about Calhoun in the transition. Okay, so I'm a Duke Blue Devils fan for NCAA basketball, men's basketball. I am a Blue Devil fan, have been since I was a little kid.
Very
Coach K, you damn Skippy. Coach K, literally Hall of Famer, and was still coaching. I mean, the dude, he owned the college scene. I mean, his recruiting was on point. Well, now Duke, he retired finally. And John Shire's in there, and dude, they're getting ready to play NC State to go to the Final Four. So Duke's getting back there, and it's funny, it's exactly like UConn. Calhoun was one of those coaches that was on such a high level you're thinking, okay, so if he leaves, does all of their recruiting fall off? I mean, who are you going to bring in to do it? And I watch them now, and I watch what Shire's doing with Duke, and they're starting to get their shit back in a kit.
So do you guys think that? Do you guys think that there's that that there? I don't know what you'd call it, but Duke has
stop drinking White Claw, and you'll remember.
Well, Duke has been successful for so long. So what I'm wondering is, is there very little recruiting that coach has to do because they're Duke? Are they still getting do people still want to go to Duke because they're Duke? Is there some of that going on? Maybe
I'm sure
a little, but the first year recruiting was tough. There was recruits switching and going, nope, I'm going over here because Coach K retired. And I'm sure he tried to lobby him, but the first year he had to definitely do some work to build that stigma back up.
The one and done thing, though, I think has changed so much of the college basketball because especially like if the coach isn't in place, why would one of these kids go to Duke or a UConn when Calhoun left, right? Sure. If they were like, I'm only going to play in college for 1 year, who gives a fuck where I play?
Right.
Where if you're going to be a 4-year guy or a 5-year guy, back in the day, then I think that mattered a lot more.
Well, and that's where remember last week we talked about Calipari.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I was just going to reiterate that
every single year he's dealing with almost a new starting five, because that is the program pretty much that is one and done more than any of them. And the reason Duke isn't as much one and done, because guys, you got to remember what it takes to get into Duke.
You got to be pretty. Duke
is a Stanford. It's a Northwestern. It's one of those schools to where if you go there, you're going to come out wealthy, whether it's basketball, whether it's just getting a degree from Duke University. Right. You're going to come out wealthy. So you're getting a different mentality of player when they go to Duke. And you're like, okay, if one and done, if I come out and I lead the ACC in scoring and one and done, great, I go to the NBA. If not, I'm still at Duke.
But the thing that the impressive thing about that, and nobody really talks about it. It gets mentioned every once in a while on some of the talking heads might mention it once in a while. But to me that is so impressive for, like, you take like Notre Dame or Harvard or Duke or some of these schools where you got to have, it's not just about athletics. I mean, you got to be a good kid. You got to be smart, good grades.
You actually have to go to class? What?
So you got to go to class. Couple that with the fact that their talent pool is a lot smaller than a Miami Hurricanes or an Alabama, right? And so when these teams can draw from that talent pool and still put themselves in, the top 25, be really a really good team too. To me, that's impressive as hell, because you're drawing from much
Notre Dame, right? Yeah, Notre Dame's football team. Like, I think they're the ones right now that you're like, okay, they're not necessarily in the college playoffs or they're not pushing for a natty, but just to your point of like their recruiting pool and how many of those guys that they get. Stanford was pretty good for a while. Yeah, they definitely aren't as good, as was it Shaw? Is that their coach? When he was there, they were good.
Before that, it was Harbaugh that actually brought him to national.
But Notre Dame, listen, Notre Dame is routinely in the top 25 every year, man.
Yeah, I mean, their football team's good. They put guys in the league every year.
And their football players are not just, I mean, these guys are 4.0 students. So the pool that you've drawn from, I mean, not only can they have to play football, but they got to be super smart too. How many? I mean, I don't know. I think it's impressive as hell year after year for them not only to get athletes that are good enough to elevate that football team in the top 25, but they also got to be wicked smart. I mean,
that Golden Dome that carries a stigma, and there are people, especially the middle of the country, that is a dream, and they've been raised that way. I mean, to wear that golden helmet and come out, I get it, but you're right. They're always in the top 20, 25, easy
every year, man,
because they get people just want to play for Notre Dame.
What's more impressive about that than I think anything is, and hopefully doesn't go unnoticed, is that how many people are you putting on a football team compared to the 12 that you're traveling with in basketball or 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
13,
you're trying to put, that's one side of the football.
Right.
You know, in football, that's one side of the football. And that's your entire team in basketball. So that's even more impressive. I'm glad you brought that up about Notre Dame, because that's even more impressive.
It is. It really is.
Can put that kind of a quality. And now, to be fair, guys, I know that. Listen, back in late 90s, early 2000s, they had a lot of guys coming out, a lot of alumni that were NFL Hall of Famers from Notre Dame saying, hey, we need to relax these requirements.
They still got to be competitive though, right? Like they can't, they don't want to be Yale.
Right.
You know, they don't want to be Cornell, but it's still impressive. You know what I'm saying though? Like those kids, you know, I bet those NFL guys are like, can we knock a couple points off their SATs and still get them in?
Right. Oh, of course.
Because we want talent.
You know how many points they'd have had to knock off the SAT for me to get into Notre Dame?
How about for the entire country?
How about not worry about the SAT?
They would have had to tell me. They would have told me just get your name on the top and we'll consider it.
Get a note from a doctor you were sick that day. You didn't have to take it.
Don't fuck up your name, because that's 400 points.
Yeah, well,
if you can spell your name right, we'll give you an extra 5.
I feel confident that I would have gotten that right. I really do.
I actually would have done it right, but damn.
Opening day, guys, I wanted to ask you guys about that home plate call. It's all over social media, of course. Bruce Dreckman was a home plate umpire in the Phillies and the Braves game.
The Max Fried thing?
Max Fried
he got fucked hard.
Fastball. Wasn't even a slider, wasn't a breaking ball. Threw a fastball right down the middle. 96, I think it was.
And it was
high. A ball. So here we are, 3 games into the season, and this shit's already starting, man.
So the thing is, right, is that would have been strike
3.
That should have ended the inning. He ends up walking the dude, walks a run in, gives up a hit. 2 more runners come in. He's out of the game.
Right.
How much did that fuck him?
Yeah.
But that's what we get. I mean, it is crazy that we're
3 games down the middle.
We're 3 games into the season. We're already doing this.
But here's the thing, and again, I'll be that guy that says we're only 3 games in.
Right.
Into a very fucking long season.
If this is happening, if this is what pisses me off about all this, is that this shit will still be happening when the umpires have 120 fucking games.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
This shit will still be happening. I can say, okay, dude, you missed one, the 3rd game of the year, 2nd game of the year, whatever it was. Okay. You missed one. All right. Get your shit together, get, back in game form. The players aren't even in game form yet right now. And so you kind of got to give them a little bit of a break, but this fucking guy will still do this 120 games into the season. God help if he ends up in the playoffs.
Probably will.
Probably fucking will too, which is pathetic.
Fucking be behind
the
plate in Game 7 of the World Series.
With all the technology that we've got and everything we've been talking about, and it's been tried in AA and AAA already, why in the fuck on that pitch can't something go off in the umpire's ear and go beep 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 beep? Whoa.
Yeah,
I agree. Correct this fucking thing. This is right down the clock, guys.
It was on a fucking tee.
Yeah,
and the dude missed it. Like there should be some. I think the other team would be like, yeah. No shit, that's a fucking strike.
Right.
Like it wasn't close. It wasn't something where like, on the K zone where the ball just barely hits the edge of the K zone. You're like, well, that could be. It was on a fucking tee. It was right down the middle.
Yeah, belt high
down the middle.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And Angel Hernandez. Angel Hernandez has already had several calls where I think he ejected a guy the other day, and you're just that guy. How does he stay employed, man? I don't understand.
The
Angel
part
Hernandez
is I think we all love baseball that much that this shit befuddles us. It's like every year you get excited for the NFL to start. I get excited for Major League Baseball. The thing that I'm a little bit, I wanted to ask you guys about this because opening day at the Coliseum, they had 13,000 and change. Okay. Now, wait. The second game on Friday, like 3,000.
They boycotted.
I saw photos of the Coliseum for that game against the Guardians, and I was just like, how do you even get excited to step on the field or?
Dude, I think there were more people in the parking lot. I think there were more people in the parking lot than there were in the stadium or in the stadium.
I mean, they can't get to Vegas fast enough. But again, we've talked about how we feel bad for the Oakland fans, as we do. But I'm telling you, man, at the Coliseum, they never filled the seats. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, they never did fill the seats.
But this is a franchise, guys. And I mean, you guys remember mid-70s? You guys remember in the 80s, the A's were the shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember the 80s. In the mid 70s, I was finger painting on walls because I was barely into elementary school.
But the A's were were so good, and Dave Stewart and the pitching staff that
the Bash brothers, right?
Ricky Henderson and Eckersley and the Bash brothers, all of the above. Yeah.
I think I've said this before. I think I've said this before on here. But Mark McGwire was such a fucking unit when he was a kid, when he was an A. So I just started watching that Long Gone Summer that ESPN did. It's the home run race.
Oh, I saw that. I haven't seen it yet.
Between McGwire, Sosa, and Griffey.
99.
And I've seen it before. It's
98
super
or
good.
99.
It's super good, but they're doing a thing on McGwire, when he was an A, and he's a kid. And he is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
He looks like a defensive, and then he just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until he went from looking like an NFL defensive end to a fucking WWF superstar.
Yeah.
He was huge. He ended up as Batista. He still is a big dude.
Yeah.
He ended up like Batista, is what you're saying.
So as a St. Louis Cardinals fan, I can tell you that there was at least 1 year, and I think there was actually 2 years in a row when he played in St. Louis, where he actually had more home runs than singles. Let that sink in.
So, but the thing is that this is what gets me about this steroid era and shit. Mark McGwire hit 49 his rookie year.
Rookie year. Fuck yeah, he did.
So
as a rook, coming up against pitchers you've never faced.
Yeah. His rookie year, he hits 49 bombs.
Yeah.
Did McGwire ever have to, or was it a healing? He was banged up a lot.
Oh.
Was it a healing thing where, okay, I got to get back on the field as soon as possible? And I get that. I get that, and I think a lot of guys, that's what it was. A-Rod. Okay.
Oh, Barry Bonds. How about no one's going to admit to? How about Barry Bonds? I mean, that guy went from what 6'2", 185 to like 250 and looking like a bodybuilder in one off season.
Well, but then his hat size went up 4 sizes.
Like a Bond. Yeah, Bonds' head is like that was like
he went from Pittsburgh being like a size 7 hat to like a fucking 12.
It was like he started taking steroids and then started studying a lot.
That's straight
and it fucking went straight to his brain.
So
that he grew that muscle.
Here's the one thing that I'm going to say about Barry Bonds, and then I'm going to get off it because it pisses me off. He has never been proven. He has never admitted. Yeah. It has never been proven that he did. There's tons of speculation, and hey, I'll even speculate. That's a whole lot of muscle. That's a whole lot of muscle to gain. But
how about this?
Watching him in Pittsburgh, all that smoke, there's some fire there, Jimmy.
The thing is that in this country.
Okay, so how about
still proven guilty.
How about the fact that the most home runs he had ever hit in one season was like 25 or 26. The very next year, he hit 49. I mean,
okay, but here's another thing. He also hit 370, dude.
Oh, he's a great hitter. Like Barry Bonds was great, man. Like he was great. He was a great outfielder. He's one of the only guys that went 40-40. Is that right? He stole 40 bases and hit 40 home runs, I believe, at the time. Now you've got Acuna for the Braves, but at the time there was only a couple guys, and maybe only 3 guys in the history of the league that stole 40 bases and hit 40 home runs. Barry Bonds is one of them.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to throw out one quick comment, and you guys can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so back in the day, when Maris took the home run record away from Babe Ruth, there was that asterisk, right? Like in the record books. Had an asterisk because it was more games, and they didn't want to take that away from the Babe, right? Here's the thing with Bonds. Whether he did or he didn't, every single player in the major leagues is going to take every advantage that they can get away with to be at their maximum peak. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true. And I can't take it away from them because it's the world they live in, man. And they get paid off of this stuff. So Bonds hitting, I don't care if he was on HGH or steroids. Motherfucker hit 73 bombs in one season.
But it wasn't.
You have to be.
That same season hitting 340.
Dude, his on-base percentage was like 500.
Because they walked him all the time. But when they didn't walk him, he was taking care of business. Now, I understand that maybe that to the fence, the warning track is now over the fence. Okay, whatever. We can argue that. But I'm going to tell you right now, you have to be one incredible hitter against major league pitchers to even get the bat on the ball.
Which
I guarantee you we couldn't.
I saw a stat, and who knows, it's the internet, but that Barry Bonds has more career intentional walks than the whole Tampa Bay franchise.
Believe it, 100%. He got walked all the time.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
And when they didn't walk him, he's putting the ball in the water, man.
Right.
Candlestick.
Yeah.
But again, with the pitching and the pitches that are now all of a sudden, it's not a cutter anymore, it's a sweeper.
Yeah.
Oh, have you guys noticed that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you got sweepers. It's not a curve, it's a sweeper. It's not this, it's that. You've got guys sitting out there with 4 or 5 pitches that they can throw for strikes at any given time. As hitters, what are you supposed to do? Just sit there and fucking watch that? Are you supposed to?
Every dude runs it up around 97. Get a guys in from the bullpen to throw 102.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, well, and this is when all that shit started, which, by the way, how many pitchers were doing the same shit to get it up around 98, 99 miles an hour?
Can we talk about the fact that it wasn't illegal anyways? It wasn't illegal.
Not then.
Right. Not then.
So
I wish it still wasn't.
If it wasn't illegal, then I'm sorry. And I really do think you're going to see a day where these guys are in the record books. They are in the Hall of Fame, because it's going to get to that point where, they're already talking about it. They're already considering it, putting these guys in the Hall of Fame, and
they have to, man. I mean,
well,
can we get
votes,
around the board? They have to.
The votes really showed this last year with Bonds and Clemens.
Right. Right.
It really showed that they're getting up there to where they're viable choices. They're viable to get voted in.
But I think people are realizing.
I don't want to pull some bullshit about how, posthumously, we're going to put him in. After no, man. Listen, Barry Bonds, and I'm going to tell you guys what pisses me off also about Major League Baseball is that they had no higher ratings ever in their fucking history than Sosa and McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that turns into what?
Griffey.
Well,
Sosa came out of nowhere. So if you do watch that thing, like, I was a kid, but I remember there being like a fucking leaderboard, and Griffey would hit 1, jump Sosa, and then Sosa would hit 2, and then I remember that as a kid. Like, it was such a big deal, that home run race.
Yeah. And it was exciting as hell. And it made Major League Baseball a ton of money.
And
a ton of money.
Ask yourself in the 70s how many, and I'm not going to mention names, but you mean to tell me in the 70s, all these professional ball players, how many of them, how much Coke was in that dugout in the 70s?
It's come out, right? Like, it's a thing.
Like how much Coke was Darryl Strawberry doing in that dugout when he went out and hit 37 home runs? I mean, listen.
Well, so I think what Pat's trying to say is Coca-Cola, if you would like to sponsor some Cocktails and Curveballs episodes, we would completely
I think he's talking about cocaine.
I'm talking about
I know he's talking about cocaine. I know he is.
I mean, you can't tell me that almost in every freaking dugout they weren't passing a little white baggie around. Get out of here, man.
So,
dude, they were doing lines off the
the
bench.
Lines meant something a little different.
Yes, the 86
Hey,
Mets.
absolutely.
86 Mets were snorting in the dugout, bro. That is documented.
I got a quick story to tell you guys, and this is where it starts, okay? So we're at a 14 year-old all-star tournament, okay? Western Regionals, we're down in Oregon. And here's these kids from Sela, and we're playing this team from Southern Cal. Over in their dugout, they got at least one case of Red Bull. And these kids over there slamming this shit, and they looked like a bunch of little fucking spider monkeys out there. It was crazy. And I'm just like, okay, this is where it all starts. I mean, these kids are just the way that they were just watching them after they're all jacked up on goddamn Red Bull at 13, 14 years old. This is where it starts. Why wouldn't you decide?
You want to talk about a goddamn gateway drug?
Oh my God. Right. And like I said, Reggie Jackson, you mean to tell me when Mr. October blasted 3 home runs in one game in that World Series? I mean, Mr. October. So Reggie Jackson was clean, right? He had no coke in his system. Get out of here.
No, he just had a really good night with a really good stripper, or
well,
so maybe, he was motivated.
Maybe. Like what you talking about, snorting it off or?
Yes, I mean I didn't say it. It's possible.
Yeah.
Listen, Reggie and I are not that tight, so I can't speak for Reggie Jackson, but it's possible. Yeah, how's that White Claw treating you, Pat?
Andre Dawson, I feel like all those is just give me the cut straw. I need to.
Don't go there with the Hawk.
Don't go with the Hawk.
I love the guy. The guy was an amazing talent, but you can't tell me that he didn't have white muffins in his nose running out in the bottom of the 7th, man. Get out of here.
Well, that's
so. Pat, are you speaking from experience?
That's actually
you said something. What's a cut? Why would somebody cut a straw?
I mean,
I don't understand. I mean, Pat, so do we need to call some people to get you some help? I mean, I don't know what's happening right now, but I feel like white muffins and shit out your nose.
If you're gonna open up that Pandora's box, and make sure you get me a therapist for 7 different.
No, I think you know what? I think this is kind of like the steroid thing. It's like let's not light the torches and go on this crazy witch hunt, because I don't know that everybody's in this case noses are clean.
Hey, don't get me twisted. This is not me slamming those guys for doing it, because the size of the line that I'd be snorting in a dugout if I was in their position, good Lord, man. I mean, it'd be going all the way down.
In the immortal words of Charlie Day, that's not the starting line. That's pretty much the finish line.
That's right. Right.
Oh shit. Okay. So full disclosure, Cocktails and Curveballs does not condone nor encourage the use of illicit drugs of any kind.
That's how we should start the podcast.
Or otherwise.
Yeah,
we should start every show.
We should start the podcast with that.
Yeah. Hey, really quick. So my birthday, I got the best birthday gift I've ever gotten in my entire
existence. I have one for you again. Like you had one for me that is like you probably drank already. But
you still got to pick up your bottle of Hornitos. But On a different note, I got the best birthday gift I've ever gotten in my 53 years of being on planet Earth, man, for my girlfriend. So April 13th, we actually fly out April 11th, which is a Thursday. Fly out like Thursday at 7 at night. Fly down to Phoenix. We stay downtown Phoenix. That's a Thursday. Friday, we get up, we go have fun, we go downtown, go to dinner, whole 9 yards. Saturday at 5:10 p.m., we're watching the St. Louis Cardinals and the Diamondbacks play at Chase Field.
Fucking hell.
And I don't know if every year has been to Chase Field in Phoenix, but that is such a beautiful ballpark, man. They open up they got a retractable roof. They open up the roof.
They have a pool.
They
got
outside.
A pool out in center. Is that them?
They do. They're not center. It's like
or
right
out in the outfield somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. Beautiful ballpark. They got the beer gardens, 7, 8. I usually sit out in the beer gardens till about the third inning because you're basically paying $6 a beer versus 18 when you get inside. But I usually sit out till the third inning, and they got the appetizers, and then there's all kinds of breweries, really nice breweries downtown Phoenix. So it's she gave it to me, and it's basically just a print up, just shows our itinerary.
Yeah, itinerary.
Yeah,
okay, so Patrick,
opened it up and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I'm like, what?
Fuck all
Patrick,
that. Fuck all that. We all texted you for your birthday.
Yeah, so that means more. That means more.
Second to that. Yeah, like that was the best.
So secondary.
Yeah.
So Patrick, I gotta throw something out there, and I actually hope that Ames watched this because I'm gonna tell you right now, I have known Amy, I think, longer than you.
Oh, I'm
and
sure
this
you
is
have.
Patrick's girlfriend, and I'm not trying to call you out, Amy. If you watch this, I'm not, trying to make you famous on Cocktails and Curveballs, but I might. This girl is she's a super awesome person, and the only thing I will give you is don't fuck that up, bro, because this is good stuff. This is really good stuff.
I don't know.
And it's stuff like that.
Wait,
but it's stuff like that. Amy has talked to Kimberly and I about brewery tours, and we need to get on that actually because Montana's really good with breweries. But I'm telling you, don't fuck it up, brother.
I need to back this shit up. I need to back this shit up a little bit because there's nobody fucking getting famous on Cocktails and Curveballs, bro.
Hey, Jim, there's so you're telling me Jim Carrey, so you're telling me there's a chance from Dumb and Dumber. Come on, man. Look at
we're like a year in. Not going so well.
When you say that you're not trying to make anybody famous on Cocktails and Curveballs, dude, that is probably the least thing you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like any day now. I really do. Hey, so anyways, what I was going to say was, so my girlfriend is like, she's kind of like a supervisory teacher at a middle school. She like helps train the other teachers and everything. She's board certified, been a teacher for a real long time. And I always joke with her. She thinks I'm joking. I'm actually being serious. She hates when I say this, but I always tell her that I'm going to get a shirt made up that says my girlfriend's wicked smart and I can lift heavy things. So I feel like it's, it's applicable. So
it's not a bad, I'm just saying, not a bad analogy.
Yeah.
Jim comes up with the really good analogies normally on Cocktails and Curveballs, but I'm going to give you that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Hey, so real quick before we head out, guys, have you guys been watching? Because there's 900 shows. Pick ESPN, pick any channel. All these mock drafts, right? Because we're getting into April. We got the draft coming end of this month. Is it literally going to be like 5 quarterbacks out of the first 7? I mean, I watched one and I hate this guy, Mike. I watched Mike Tannenbaum's mock draft and I cannot stand Mike Tannenbaum.
I can't stand that guy. Oh, I can't stand him.
I can't stand him.
Guys, and
absolutely.
I'm in total agreement with you guys.
Oh, man.
I know why you guys can't stand him, but go ahead.
No, but he's a pile. I mean, we are quarterback heavy. But do you anticipate we're going to see that many quarterbacks that quick this draft?
I could see 5.
I can.
In how many picks? In how many picks though?
In the first round. In the first round.
Maybe in the first round for sure.
15 picks.
That I can see.
The first 15 picks, absolutely.
Well,
did you see Michael Penix Jr.'s 40 time?
Just gonna go there.
Oh, 4.6?
Yes.
4.5. I think he ran a
4.46.
Is that what it was?
Was it
Yeah,
4.46?
it was like a
6 he ran.
Okay, so which is flying for a quarterback. Good
for
Lord.
a dude that rushed for I'm not 100% sure. I think he rushed for like 8 yards last season. Doesn't even run.
Oh,
Well,
but he's got wheels.
But he's
a
yeah,
big
dude,
kid.
and he flies apparently. I don't think
Hey,
anybody saw that coming.
Hey, can we just take a moment to reminisce? You mentioned Mike Tannenbaum, right? Can we just take a moment to reminisce that he traded up for butt fumble Sanchez? Can we take a minute to remember that? Like he traded up. He actually gave up picks to move up to draft Mark butt fumble Sanchez. I just want to be okay. I'm done. That's all I wanted to thank you. Yeah.
We appreciate your addendum. That was nice.
Yeah, that's nothing quite says clueless to like I traded up to draft Mark Sanchez.
No, I mean the reason I brought it up is listen, guys, we're getting late in the show, but I don't want to go into a whole mock draft thing. We can do that later, but I'm watching all the stuff and it's befuddling me. And I'm like, okay, so this doesn't remind me of 1983 with Elway and Marino and all the quarterbacks, you know. But these guys, like they're talking he could be the second pick. And this is not just Tannenbaum. I don't pay attention to that guy. He's a pile. But even the stupid ass Mel Kiper with his shellacked hair and Mel Kiper, you know what? You got to give him credit because he made a living off of this stuff. But I mean, it could be, and we should probably get into it in the future. This could be a big deal.
I actually like McShay. So I trust. I mean, me personally and everybody, it's just like Pepsi and Coke. Which one you like better? But me personally.
Oh, we know you like Coke better. I
think we know the answer on that one.
Yeah. So, but I personally trust McShay more than I do Kiper. That's me. So
I've never trusted Kiper ever.
I don't know, guys. I think it's going to be really, really interesting because Caleb Williams is shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah,
100,000%.
Every time he opens up his mouth, man, it's just like, wow. Do you really want? He had better be fucking good.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Did you see there was a report or some shit about Caleb Williams not wanting to go to the Bears, and Eli Manning tweeted back about it?
No way.
That's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, all he said was like it was something funny. Typical Manning. It was like real short and like you were like, okay, yeah, that is funny because that's what you did.
Yeah,
right.
He was like, I'm not going to the Chargers.
Nope.
Period. Right? And that was it.
I have seen mock drafts where the Bears.
I thought that shit was so funny.
I don't know that this could happen, but I've seen mocks where the Bears get Caleb Williams and Harrison out of Ohio State. If they could pull that off, that could actually change that.
I could see them. I bet Harrison would be tough, but I've seen some stuff about them getting Caleb Williams in that Rome Odunze.
Yeah. Ooh. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right out
Get
of
him
the
a weapon to throw to. So it's hard to say. They already got
DJ Moore and now Keenan Allen.
But the Bears will find a way to fuck it up. I mean, I
think they already did fuck it up. I think they already did fuck it up. I think by them trade, not even what they got for Justin Fields is such a slap in the fucking mouth, man. And then I'm going to tell you something.
We're going to watch Justin Fields be the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback for the next 12 years.
If they would have traded that first overall pick and even moved down 2 spots, they didn't have to move down like to number 10. They could have moved down 2 spots, picked up another first round pick. And I'm telling you something, Fields would have had weapons all over the field next year, man. Yep. I just don't understand. You're not going to tell me. I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Caleb Williams right now is better than Justin Fields.
I don't either.
I don't buy that. I don't.
I agree. I actually agree with that statement.
I think they're resetting the rookie contract is what they're looking to do. Instead of paying on an extension, instead of paying Justin Wilson's Justin Fields $25 million. So I get the business end of it. But is Caleb Williams really your guy?
No, okay, but I'm telling you something. Fields goes to Pittsburgh and turns into the second coming. Bears fans are gonna be like, why does this always happen to us? Because you guys are fucking morons, man. You do it every year.
And even if Fields sits behind Russell for a year, maybe Russell runs the whole year, right?
Man,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I got a feeling
makes it the whole year.
I got a feeling that Fields is going to replace Russell Wilson about halfway through the season.
If
not sooner.
Wait a second, though. Russell Wilson just is coming off of. See, this is the thing that people don't understand. I know Denver didn't have a good year. I get all that. I know that Russell Wilson took a crazy amount of shit all year long, and I even get some of that. But Russell Wilson had a great year, man. He had a really good year at quarterback.
He had a good year.
I understand. Like, so many people are like, Russell Wilson, he's a bum, or he's no good, or he's this, or he's that. Dude, Russell Wilson had a really good year last year. Very quietly, he didn't get credit for it, but he's still really good, man. I think you guys are going to be shocked at how good Russell Wilson. He's going to go out this next year and he's going to ball out. Now the year after, I completely see Fields.
What I'm really happy with the most out of that whole deal is Russell Wilson is embracing this competition. He's embracing Justin Fields coming there. He's at least out front. He's saying all the right things.
So
I'm Russell Wilson. Fuck Justin Fields. They can say whatever they want, and that's a homer take. They're both going to be shitty. So,
but I want to ask because
real quick, Tyler. I'm not getting the vibe.
I don't know. They might be really good. Who fucking knows?
So I'm confused. So maybe somebody has some information I don't. But has there been a situation in the past where Russell Wilson has been anything less than a class act? Because I'm not aware of that. Has he ever not been a stand-up dude? I mean, I don't.
He's been a bit of a prima donna in the locker room, bro,
okay.
with his wife. Come on, man.
No, how so though?
I just think he's cheesy. I just think he's cheesy as fuck. I'm not saying it's because he's a bad person or anything. I think he just comes off as like off-putting because you're like.
Has he ever been uncoachable? Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a great get for the Steelers. I know he's fucking better than whoever the fuck they had.
Oh God!
They upgraded their quarterback room
like
for $2 million. For $2 million a year.
Yeah,
$2 million. They upgraded their quarterback room tenfold.
At this point,
more than that, Jimmy. It's like 100-fold. I mean, I'm sorry.
Is it
Pickett? I had high hopes for Pickett, but Rudolph and them. No, this is huge for the Steelers.
Well, now he's showing his true colors now too. I mean, he can't shut his mouth.
Nope. Good luck. Is there how much money that makes you?
Is there a more clueless team in the NFL? I mean, this second than Denver? I mean, Denver, look at all the money. First of all, look at everything they traded to get Russell Wilson. And then they eat how much? $58 million, something like that? Good
38.
Lord.
I have to go back to past history, recent history that Sean Payton has a fucking plan and he knows what he's doing, brother. I mean, I'm sorry. He walked into a situation where there was nothing on the cupboards, man. There was nothing.
But why would he take it?
He walked in because he figured he can build it. He's not going to
build it. That's who Sean
He's going to build it.
He's going to build it. Watch.
And he always has.
Are they going to give him honestly, the time, though?
Yes.
He's
earned it. Denver?
I agree with that, but everybody's so quick to, if this doesn't work in the next 2 years, 3 years, are they going to stick with him?
Well, it's not going to work.
That roster is not good.
Okay, so it's not going to work in the next 2 years. I'll save you the suspense. It's not going to work in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because they traded what they traded for Russell Wilson. They gave up a king's ransom for him, man. So this year's first and second picks are gone. I think next year's first pick is gone. So maybe if he has a few hits in this draft, and then next year he doesn't have a first round pick again. So I mean that's the point, is what they traded to get Russell Wilson is so overwhelming, and then you just let him go for I mean, Man.
Well, then the dead cap money is also the issue, right? Because then you're like, okay, well, are we going to build it? Are we going to build it through the draft or free agency? Draft.
Well, you can't do free agency.
It's gonna have to be through the draft this next year. Has to.
Yeah. That's what I mean, dude. And who hits on that many picks?
I mean,
nobody. The best teams year in and year out don't do it.
But they don't even have a first and a second this year. They got
a first this year somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it was Bradley Chubb or whatever, because they're talking about McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the shit with the Seahawks.
Michigan quarterback. Yeah,
right.
That's a tough that's a tough place to be in, man. When you give up a first and now you're stuck. You're basically straddled with, out of the 5 picks we have left, we got to hit on 3 of them. Like we have to.
Well, I think the bigger problem with Denver is yes, obviously draft capital, but I'm going to tell you right now, in free agency, they have to get their money in line. There are going to be players that are going to want to play for Sean Payton. Make no mistake, that will happen. So here's the thing. Can they figure out a way to throw their magical fucking pixie dust on the cap to free up to get some people? Dude, I'm sorry, man. I can't question Sean Payton. He wouldn't have gone there and taken the job when there would have been 7 other teams that would have given him mad money to be their head coach. I think he's got a fucking plan, man. And my youngest son, he's a freaking Broncos fan, and I hope he's right. But Sean Payton's a great coach.
What's the thing? Everybody's got a plan.
I trust in Sean Payton, and I do because he ran the shit. They had a GM in New Orleans, but make no mistake, Sean Payton was in control when he was with the Saints. I think 100%. He's in control. I think he's in control now. And,
yes, sir.
And I don't see, obviously this next year, but would it surprise you guys for Sean Payton to pull 9 wins out of his ass this year?
It surprised me. It would absolutely. Do we even know who their quarterback is? Do we even know?
Not yet, brother. We will.
Not yet. But
hey guys, on a side note, on this Easter Sunday, man, let's kind of wrap this stuff up and let's get to some curtain calls. Who's got something we want to throw a shout out to?
I got some. Have I already talked about the Iditarod on here?
One time about the dude killing the moose.
Well, never mind then. That was gonna be.
You're like, damn it. No,
yeah.
Taken.
So I read more about it. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I've already done this. Stop me if I have.
Yeah.
That they have so that there's a rule in the Iditarod that nobody, if a dude kills a moose or a woman, whoever's mushing the dogs, kills a moose, they have to gut it properly. Like I've been all over this because I think it's so cool, but they have to gut it properly. And if there's a dog team or whatever the fuck they call them, I have no idea. If they come up on the dude doing it or the woman, the person gutting the moose, they have to stop. They cannot go around. It holds up the entire race. Nobody can pass, and they have to help.
I did not know that. See, you're enlightening us.
Is that not the coolest shit?
That
and
is
the
cool.
dude, the dude fucked it up. If I've already talked about it, the dude that did it improperly gutted the moose, and he got docked like hours off his time.
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours off his time.
Crap.
So,
which in that race is fucking huge.
What's so cool about that is that you have to be multifaceted. You're not just fucking running dogs.
Yeah.
You better know how to clean a goddamn moose.
That's what I mean. It's not like in NASCAR or something. Danica Patrick came out and said she doesn't know fuck all about cars. She can drive them. She came out and said, she's like, I don't even know if it's a V6 or VA or whatever. She's like, I have no idea. I just drive the car. You don't just drive those dogs.
She's not hard to look at either. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but I mean, she's also not in the Iditarod.
No.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Dude, I saw the thing came and I started looking into it more and more and more. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that you mush a team of fucking dogs that far. And like, dude, some of the dogs drop out. Like you get to a checkpoint and you're like, okay, this dog's fucking beat. Like They don't all
do
show up with the same amount of dogs that they started with.
Wow.
I feel like that's a challenge to Tyler to actually train and go do the Iditarod.
Absolutely not.
I mean, think about it. Just think about it. Sleep on it. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. No.
Who else got a curtain call for us?
I got one. I want to give a big shout out to a certain Cameron Blasek. You guys know who that guy is? That kid is?
No.
17-year-old high school kid in Indiana. He drove to his high school earlier this month, and he had American flag in the back of his truck. Well, the principal, Tom Black, told him it's offensive, and he suspended him. Can't come to school till you take the flag out of your truck. So what Cameron Blasek did is him and he got all his friends together, which was a lot, and they all draped their vehicles and cars with American flags. So anybody, and so now Tom Black has taken a stance. Okay, we've revised the code of conduct, and we're allowing American flags to be displayed at our high school. But just to think that you're sending a kid home for having an American flag in the back of his truck, right?
It wasn't. Is that the same kid? Because there's another story about that the kid took the flag out of the back of his truck and then painted his truck.
Yeah, that's okay. So he did that. So he did that. So hats off to Cameron for standing up, saying, you know what, like. Nothing.
Not just the kid though, dude. His parents.
His parents and his friends. And so the point here is, anytime you think your voice doesn't count, it's super refreshing to see people stand up for the God-given rights that every one of us have in this country. And the principal since then has backed off and said, okay, well, that's cool.
Well, that guy should be fucking not in charge of.
I agree with anything. I agree. Absolutely.
Let's not forget that yes, they are God-given rights, but at the same time, there are millions of our veterans that died.
Absolutely.
To give us those rights.
That's probably the bigger point. That's the bigger point. And you're right. Absolutely.
I will give mad shout out for that, because I'm going to tell you right now, in this day and age, a lot of people won't stand up for their beliefs. They just bow down to the system. Don't do it, man. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that from CNC, but I'm telling you right now, don't. Come on. No. We know better. Yep. Okay. Jimmy, you got one for us?
I do. And guys, I was going to have these stats. Greg Maddux. I was just reading some of his sick, unbelievable stats. And I was gonna sit here and cite him, but I'm not going to. It just, anybody, Greg Maddux, look up his pitching stats.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there was a span where he faced like 3,500 batters and walked 13.
Yes, it's insane.
I think for his career per batter, is so far under one ball per batter.
And then they showed you take away intentional walks and how many hitters he even went 3-0 to.
I know, man. Great. We saw it in real time.
It's like
we saw it in real time.
Yeah. These stats are so unreal. We don't appreciate him as much because he didn't have the 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. Fuck his fastball. If he was running it up there at 92, 93, that was a good day.
Did he even throw that? I don't think he threw that. I think he was like 88. Was he not?
But that's what I mean. If it was even
upper 80s, low 90s.
Yeah. And nowadays, but
he could thread a needle with a baseball.
Oh,
I mean, that
with
dude
5 pitches, with 5 different pitches.
Yeah, it's just amazing. So, look up, you guys want to talk about pitchers and pitcher versus hitter and stuff. Look up Greg Maddux.
Well, can I just say one thing about that, which it's just another mind-boggling stat. So these pitchers that are in the 300 club, they won 300 games. If you stop and consider, that's 15 wins a season for 20 effing years, man.
Yep.
I mean, 15 wins in one season. That's commendable. I mean, that's
Rocky
really
might be
good.
an all-star.
Right now,
Yeah,
15
for
wins.
doing that,
15 wins, and you're up for the Cy Young right now.
Yes, exactly
and
right.
doing that for 20 freaking years, man. Good God.
Yeah,
It's insane.
It's unbelievable. It's just like the 3,000 hit club.
Yeah.
Yep.
15 years of 200 hits a year.
It's just
600
insane.
at bats.
Yeah.
I saw something that said if every player that's ever played started in their 27-year-old season, only 2 players would have 3,000 career hits, and that's Ichiro and Pete Rose.
Correct.
Wow.
Which is insane. Absolutely insane.
So yeah,
well, hey guys,
check some of that stuff out. That Greg Maddux, man, I was reading about some of these stats.
It's crazy.
So good.
Just
He was
not
so
possible.
good.
Not
so
possible.
good. Yeah.
And he was that good. And it's yes,
really
definitely
was.
dial that up and watch it. Guys, my curtain call is ridiculously fast and has everything to do with the day that we're recording here on Easter Sunday. My shout out is to my homeboy JC. He's risen today, and I'm going to leave it at that. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay. But anyway, that's where I'm leaving that one, boys. And thank you all again for being here. Anyone wants to find us, you know, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You can email us at cocktailsandcurveballs@gmail.com. Hit us up, give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow us. We're on Spotify. Help us keep doing what we're doing because we actually do really enjoy this. So, you know what, guys, I want to tell everyone out there, anyone that's watching, happy Easter. Thank you guys all for taking the time today because I know it's a family day. And until next time, boys, let's do a cheers.
Cheers,
boys.
I almost finished it, just so you know. I'm really close to being done.
Nice job.
Two White Claws. That's a big deal.
Oh, hey, there's some whiskey in there too. I just want to be clear about that.